actually in the book for this week. We get the power of habits. In the first chapter we read this week, chapter 21, Matthew Kelly talks about the power of habits. It's really the core of this book, and I'm just going to read it out loud. Page 110. Habits have a massive impact on our lives. For better or for worse, they can shape our destiny. Resistance loves the negative patterns in your life, the bad habits. The path of least resistance effortlessly creates negative routines, rituals, and rhythms. Do you know what the negative patterns are in your life? After the last 4 weeks, you probably do. Do you procrastinate by watching television? Do you try to spend your way to happiness? Do you eat when you are not hungry to deal with emotions? Do you drink to escape? Do you constantly check your email or social media to avoid doing the most important things? Do you keep spending time with people even though you know they are not helping you become the best version of yourself? We also have negative habits of the mind. Do you worry about things that you have no control over? Do you obsess about the worst possible outcome in situations? Are you constantly judging yourself and others? Do you keep returning to feelings of guilt even after God has forgiven you? Do you dwell on things in the past you wish you had done differently? Do you blame yourself even when something is not your fault? Do you doubt yourself constantly? We all have routines, rituals, and rhythms that are negative. They have power over us. They have central places in our story. They stop us from becoming the best versions of ourselves. These negative patterns are so easy to fall into. Skip down to the next paragraph. What are the positive patterns in your life? They may be simple and seemingly insignificant, but they glue your life together in a profoundly positive way. It could be driving your kids to school, reading the newspaper in your pajamas on Saturday, what you eat for breakfast, walking the dog, making love to your spouse, or reading before you go to bed. Each of these is an informal routine or ritual. They create powerful rhythms in our lives, and together, these routines, rituals, and rhythms hold our lives together in ways we will probably never understand. But let me ask you a question. When was the last time you set out intentionally to create a life-changing habit? Let's stop there. That's what we've been trying to do in this class, right? Recognize the positive and negative patterns in our lives. Start creating life-changing habits. We've done this in previous weeks. I'm not going to formally stop the class and have you write it down or share it, but think about what are 3 of your best habits? What are 3 habits that you need to change? Now, how do we change? What do we need to do to create life-changing habits? The answer begins with self-denial. It's a paradox, but self-denial is the key to the happy life. It doesn't sound very happy, but it brings us happiness. Matthew Kelly tells the story of the Stanford marshmallow experiment. Did you guys all read about that? In the 60s and 70s, a series of studies was conducted where small children were given a marshmallow and told, you have a choice. You can eat this marshmallow now, or you can set it on the table in front of you, stare at it for the next 15 minutes, and then after 15 minutes, you get 2 marshmallows. In follow-up studies, researchers found that the children who chose to wait 15 minutes for 2 marshmallows tended to have better life outcomes in any number of areas, from SAT scores and educational accomplishments to general health to divorce rates. In everyday life, the art of self-denial improves our lives. In the spiritual life, too, the art of self-denial improves our lives. Here's one example. Forgiveness. We know that when we forgive people, our quality of life vastly improves. We're free. We're free to love. We don't have to carry around this grudge anymore. When we fail to forgive people, our quality of life plummets. We become bitter and angry. We get everything from depression to heart disease. But here's the paradox. It is easy in the moment to go on hating. It's so easy to just slide down the slippery slope and remember what that person did to us, and oh, they deserve this, and oh, isn't it so nice to play the victim? It is much harder to make the decision in the moment to actually forgive, to fast and pray for the person who has wronged us. We'll get to that in a moment. To forgive them over and over again until it starts sticking. That takes self-denial. It's hard in the moment. But the happiness and the rewards that come after are infinite. To live a better spiritual life, we need self-denial. First, Matthew Kelly asks us to identify where our lives are askew. He asks, what are you hungry for? You remember that chapter? What are you hungry for? Is it respect, independence, security, safety, comfort, food, sex, adventure, travel, success, admiration, free time, a love relationship that you don't have and that you want to have? There are all kinds of things that we crave, that we get hungry for, that we go after. Resistance loves hunger. Resistance plays on our hunger, uses it to distract us from things that are really important in life. Our hunger for these things can harm our health, our relationships, our walk with God. We are all hungry for something, most likely many things. Matthew Kelly says his struggle is with food. He loves food. He eats when he's happy. He eats when he's sad. He eats to celebrate, to reward himself, to console himself. He says there are very few occasions in his life that do not translate into an opportunity to eat more food. He is still trying to work out the underlying reasons for this unhealthy relationship. In the meantime, he gets to pray and practice self-denial. My struggle right now is with perfectionism. You'll recall the 2 a.m. wake-up I told about last week. I'm realizing that Jesus says, be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. But that perfectionism is a warped version of that. It's the enemy of actual perfection. I like being in control. I like having my ducks in a row a little too much. The devil wants me to think it's up to me to get everything perfect, to get everything exactly right. And that way, he can beat me up when I don't meet my own sky-high standards, so that I'll get discouraged. I won't even want to try again. God isn't like that. God works through our weaknesses, our failures, our vandalized cars. So, right now, I get to work on reliance on God, not self. Gentleness, self-acceptance. Where I am weak, He is strong. But my perfectionism is still a place where the devil can poke me when he wants to. It's still a place where I'm struggling. Where's your struggle? What are you hungry for that throws your life out of balance? That keeps you from being happy? Take a minute and write down as many things as you can think of. What are you hungry for? What's keeping you from being happy?